Greetings. I want to share about how our memories come back in the true memories that we are meant to retrieve so that we can have full concentration of our soul essence and be more bright, like the star delight we are, and find any places that we have fractured out and are centrifugal, we're going away or we're going entropy into chaos. We're going away from being bright. And sometimes that happens because it's not really coherent to love, or it's not true to the soul that you are. It was inserted, an inserted history. So what I had done yesterday was I asked for an assignment while I was on the therpahi plasma med bed at our 3 miracles, and I asked, what would be the highest and best assignment that I could do at that moment? And I heard to find a number of how many false histories had been inserted throughout time for me that would be of benefit to release at that time. Now, we also know that, I'm going to tell you about that, but we also know that even if a false history or a movie you watch, a fiction, is not true, it still becomes true at a level because you digested it or witnessed it or received it. So there's something to be said about that, but I'm going to keep going with sharing. So I'm lying on the bed, reclining, finding any lies, and I heard to release 58 false histories that wasn't just to this lifetime, but to any others that would be of benefit. And I called them out one by one, just by using numbers 1, 2, 3. And as I did so, I'm around the center, which is the size of like 1,000 square feet. Around the center, I heard systematically in a clockwise movement, thumps against the building. At the front door, thump, thump at the front of the building, thump, thump, thump at the back of behind me, which would be the side of the building, thump. And then on the back of the building, which would be to my left, if I was laying down with my head west and my feet east, thump, thump. As I'm calling out these numbers and calling back any of my soul essence out of false histories. So that would mean that I have this semi view of what your aura, your soul, your toral field looks like. This is the top of where my central channel is at the top. This is the bottom. And then let's just say this, an average aura is 6 feet across, and from midline, 3 feet to the left, 3 feet to the right. So although you are much bigger than that, beyond the soul, you are also all of space at a level of pure consciousness. I was experiencing, as you're laying on the theraphi plasma med bed, which is also, the formula of it is perfected charge collapse by golden mean ratio integers to Planck. So it's bringing that big spiral from way out in consciousness back to center, back to negentropy, back to the midline to Planck. And it's then the torus, which has a natural self-reentry of the organization of the aura and of the soul and of the torus, then literally is rotating like a donut in this fashion, really in both directions, but it is organized and coming to midline centripetal when I was calling back my soul essence. So I'm put this on my arm, holding the phone as well, the camera, so you can see. So, if this torus is rotating, I'm calling my soul essence and it's bringing it back to the midline if my arm is the spine. And that action of just intentionally calling back my essence, just showing you how powerful this is, when I was done with the exercise, I did witness a couple, sometimes I don't necessarily get all the details of all those memories that are being released, especially if they're being released, I want to let them go. But I did at maybe midpoint of doing that, calling out from 1 to 58 false histories, I did have a feeling I was pulling out from being told at schools, false histories. So I'm just adding that in. So I got up and went and walked around the building, and I saw that chairs had flown, one had flown out in the street, big pots at the front of the building, the side of the building, the back of the building, and a sign had all come down. So my soul, my toroidal, my essence in the array of longitudinal field, anywhere that my soul essence was getting to come back and reorganize from the release of those Akashic record densities that I was super consciously saying I don't want to hold on to those false histories, they became unbound, and I could be able to see and witness what that does and the power that it does, especially when I was laying on the theraphi. I mean, you don't need to do it on the theraphi because I'm going to suggest you do this exercise, but you can witness the power of your soul, your consciousness, the photon light particles as they come home. I was able to actually see in a clockwise direction that I called my essence home, and it literally made it like a tornado around the center, knocking all those things down. So my suggestion is that for this exercise, that you maybe do it outside, in nature. And you could lie down on the earth, the magnetic grid, to help you really call it back into midline, to be magnetic, to bring back your soul's essence. You could go slower and not just call it numbers, to really maybe see anything that you feel guided that you're supposed to see. And I would also suggest that you ask for a number, like how many false histories are ready to be released out of your field, so that you have more room for who you truly are and where you truly come from, and more ability to recall memory that is important for you to remember who you are, and have more soul essence photon light particles available because you're super concentrating them to be here with you in the present, not keeping you, anchored out in some false narrative or fictional story. That could also include movies and books. And the other piece is that the way the torus moves, the way it's negentropic, that it's self-organizing, it has a self-reentry of memory. So that's how you're able to actually pull your memories in. As you see this here, you can call back a memory that you are ready to receive, like if you're doing an Akashic record, or you want to know your true self at, your star origin, starseed origin, or your origin beyond human, or you want to know very key wisdom, highest knowledge and wisdom and clarity and intelligence of a lifetime, or even a higher version of yourself at the highest potential of who you truly are, with all your faculties in check, all your abilities restored, all your DNA repaired if needed. What will happen is when you're requesting that at the top of this donut, there's a self-reentry, a natural way that the toroidal field moves is it collapses back in on itself here at the top, back to Planck in integers of the golden mean ratio, as you're calling those memories home. So the memories literally are like almost magnetically pulled back down midline. And that's what's so important about you getting grounded and, letting your sole of your foot touch the magnetics of the ground, or at least, if you're working with new grounding points at new planes of existences, sometimes it will not feel like you're actually grounding into the core of the earth, but that you're grounding, let's say, at your heart and your field. However, that's more of an advanced topic, but just to stick with sole of the foot to the earth magnetic grid, that's going to really help you pull that down in the natural movement of the torus and really become insoled. The term of being insoled, it's just funny that it actually includes the sole of the foot. So I hope this exercise is phenomenally that's a word, it's my word, successful for you. And after you do it, I would be curious of your share. So if you want to put in the comments what it was like for you and anything of aha that you received. Have a great day.